everybody, welcome to the stream. My name is Jan-Jaap Abbink here on JJA LiveTube, on YouTube of course, and then we're also live on X. Yes, welcome everybody. For those who knew, I'm Jan-Jaap Abbink. I'm reporting for JJA Sports Studio here on these two channels. What an amazing week we have in wrestling. Even though the news is a little bit thin, I must admit, but there's still a lot of things we can talk about, here on the podcast. I got also some news, by the way. Now, due to it's thin, we stay once per week, right? It's not necessary to do two shows a week, but when the new wrestling calendar starts, when things start heating up, we're going to two shows. So then we're going to Tuesdays and on Thursdays. And Thursday mostly are being used also when there's a pay-per-view. We do predictions. So we can still do that week a lot of news coverage as we speak here, all right. Well, we start off, of course, with the big debate that's going on in wrestling. Who was the mystery man? A Survivor Series. A lot of debate about that, a lot of talk about that. And it is actually very clear. It is what happened is actually PWI Insider reported that Austin Theory is returned, was backstage at Survivor Series. And there was already for a long time speculation he would actually enjoy the division even before Seth Rollins got injured and was a TV angle removed from the division. So they did this, segment that he comes in as an attacker, take out, and make sure that division won. That's it. So Austin Theory is actually, if Austin Theory is the man behind the mask. The case is what I find is a little bit weird about it is that they drag it now so long because a lot of people said, yeah, but it's Seth Rollins because of the stamp. Let me talk about the situation with Seth Rollins first, all right? Seth Rollins had shoulder injury. He just did an interview the other day and told he got rid of his sling. That was also said on WWE TV. That this was actually factual, but the matter is that when you just got out of a sling, right? I quickly contacted one of my medical contacts, and it was explained if you get rid of the sling, you can't climb yet any cages whatsoever. That's impossible. So that is already proving enough that he was not Seth Rollins. So it is clearly Seth Rollins ruled out because he still has to get back in shape. So taking that for a side, that it's still Austin Theory. He was there backstage. It's ideal. He's been cleared now for some time also to come back. And in that way make his comeback as a heel. But the problem is Austin Theory really a good heel? I mean, last time we saw him, last few months we saw him as a heel, and I was not convinced. Peeps. So being that said, it could have done better. I mean, I don't think Austin Theory is my favorite choice, but that's up to WWE. I'm not booking WWE, and if they can make something better out of it, then for all meaning. Then again, being that said, So how long are they going to wait? That's my question, because I doubt it will be until Seth Rollins will be back, because that's probably somewhere in April. So they already can all forget about scrap Seth Rollins out of your book. He won't be back till April. So I think I hope next week, or maybe even Saturday night's main event. Maybe they do an angle something there. I don't know. I just don't hope they get involved with the last Cena's match when he says goodbye. I think that should not be, a thing. And maybe they even wait until January 5th, where there was a world title announced for CM Punk. That will be ideal, but can WWE pull it off to wait so long to uncover its Austin Theory, right? It is an ideal moment. You can, in a way, screw CM Punk out of the title, have him chase it all the long way to WrestleMania. Maybe CM Punk win the Chamber or the Royal Rumble, and in that way get back at the title. That will be ideal, but to wait so long with us and the Masked Man to be uncovered, I think that is too long. So I hope in the coming weeks, because then also, and WWE would be actually smart to do it right now, before the end of the year. And I'll explain you this why. December month, there's not much going on. The television are boring. There's not really a big event coming. Yes, you have, of course, John Cena's last match on the 13th, but the next pay-per-view will be on the end of January. So there's a very long time for WWE to build up. Now AEW has, of course, AEW World's End, so that's a little bit, but not much to it. Yeah, you have the AEW Continental Classic, but I severely like, but that is because I like a lot of in-ring action and non-storyline build. I don't think that's necessary always for a good match. I mean, if you want to see a good match, you can have a good match. But that is, of course, difference of taste, and I respect that. If you prefer more the storylines, then WWE is your thing. So that being said, so I think WWE should not wait too long to unmask the Mystery Man. I think begin January would be a stretch. It would be ideal, but it would be a very major stretch to have that doing. Being that said, yeah. So, and then we had another return, and it was kind of funny because I will take you a little bit back to my predictions video of Survivor Series, and I actually said it. I predicted it that Liv Morgan would be returning, and it would be ideal also because I think why I got that theory is because at the time the tournament of John Cena's last match, it would be hyped too much. If you put an IC title on the line, in a way, then John Cena will lose his last match, and it's more about the IC title than actually it's his last match. I always have something. A last match should never be a title involved. It should be about the guy who's leaving, and I think that's more enough for this match, and that's why I thought, well, how can you easily get off the thing? You can get to Judgment Day, but that's just too, you see that every week, right? And I thought, well, Liv Morgan is Liv Morgan was already doing a lot of training. She was preparing, and then there was a fact that she should be sooner returning than planned. So ideal would it be? I mean, who other you can make a big pop or major return and get the title back on Dominic? And that was my thought process, that Liv Morgan should be returning, and she did. And what a phenomenal impact that girl made. I mean, seriously, it's funny when I will tell you this about Liv Morgan. When Liv Morgan debuted, I thought, well, I thought to myself, and I'm going to be really honest now, peeps, and I really don't want to degrade the Liv Morgan fans. I really don't. Um but the fact was that when Liv Morgan debuted, I thought, this tiny girl, she has pink hair. Because I didn't see her in NXT. I'll be honest. I'm not a big NXT fan. I'm not. I don't. Um, NXT. In the when Hunter run NXT, then it was working. But now, yeah, I don't know. And of course, she was there when Hunter was running it, but yeah, she never got eye to me. And suddenly was called up. I thought, who is this? Um, so I saw her debut and thought to myself, uh, so I'm going to use a word that I don't like to use for Liv Morgan because I got the last few years a lot of respect for Liv Morgan. I will tell you why. But almost came to my mind, this blonde bimbo doesn't make it very so far. It won't. I'm sorry if I offended somebody. It's not to offend, but that was my thought process. That was my first impression of Liv Morgan. Then she had some weak storylines and didn't matter. And when she actually started catching my eye was actually the Revenge Tour. I thought, this girl has balls, to say that. I thought, well, that's a dare to stretch it that far. And I thought, well, first I thought, we'll see how far it goes. Maybe she has a feud with Rhea and that's it. But she went even further. She gets up the world title. She got all this great story, what really hyped during the summer that year was with Dominic Mysterio and joining Judgment Day even. But the love triangle with Rhea and Dominic actually, caught my eye. And I started to get respect for that girl. I thought this girl has a major future. If you can act like she can, then you can actually come far in WWE. I really believe that, and she knows how to put it on. She doesn't lay in fake, but she's very professional also in a way. What I can remember from her is also that the fact that what she did with what is her name? Lyra Kira, that she drop kicked the girl so she could get her gear in place because it was a malfunctioning. And I think she helps in a way, and it does, and makes it look like, oh, she's trying to help him. Kayfabe goes everything away, and etc. etc. No, she does it in a way so the wrestler can get helped and still look like a good wrestling match. So that's I got a lot of respect for when she did that. And plus, I'll be honest, she's not ugly. Talking about eye candy, my God, what hot chick, peeps. And she can tell a story. She definitely can, and I think that makes her stronger. If you see the whole women division in WWE, yes, you have some good wrestlers, definitely. I will not deny it, but there are not so many in WWE that can actually put a story that hits you in the guts and throw it back at you. And I think Liv had that, and also you directly noticed it when she came back, right, on Survivor Series as on Raw. She directly nailed it. She directly sold it. She made it clear what she wants, and that's the women's world title. And in a way, she made it convincing to us as fans that it was to understand and explain why, and convincing. And actually, as she said, right, the Judgment Day was weak. Literally, I thought, well, they're going to split up, and now she's back, and it looks more that the Judgment Day has got more life in them back, thanks to Liv. So all roses to Liv for today. Um, and that's what also that amazed me when she came back, right? And Monday after also she directly breathed life into the women division because the women division it sucked. Sorry WWE, but you really sucked. I mean, you had the world title. Who comes back to put people over? How unbelievable is that, right? I have nothing against Nikki Bella. Don't I think she, even that she came back, I got a little bit more respect for them. I mean, when the Bella twins wrestled, I had something like, sorry, it was too, too cheesy. I don't know if that's the correct word, um, but and then you have to go against Stephanie Valcaire. Well, Valcaire, this is the thing, right? Valcaire is one of the women, actually in WWE, who keeps the women's division going. Rhea Ripley, yes, she was great. She held the title long, but her title run was boring as AF. Why? Because there was no serious competition for her. That is the whole problem, right? The problem with the WWE's women's division is there are only a few names that build up to the main event scene, and the gap between there, it really is too big. And then they covered it maybe up with an IC title and the US title, but didn't really help. I mean, Lyra Valkyria doesn't come over. When Julia ran, she was pushing wrong. And I feel sorry because I like Julia a lot. I mean, she's a great wrestler, one of the best wrestlers they have on the roster. But she was so in a way pushed that her title run didn't mean also shit. And now they have a US title, a US champion, who I also have actually a lot of respect for. Don't get me wrong, Chelsea Green, she's phenomenal. But she's just a comedy act. So how serious you can take these mid-card champions at the current time? No, now we have an intercontinental champion. I think to me, she should be a manager. I mean, even Becky Lynch said it in a way in an interview, and she's actually right. You make a storyline out of it, but she's actually right. She's not a real wrestler. I mean, seriously. I mean, she was she's born in the wrong time. If you have to put in the divas in the diva division when they did bra and panty matches, she would be fine. Yeah, I know I'm slating now the whole women's division in WWE, but it's crap it's shit as crap. I'm so sorry. I may be harsh, and that's what I felt when Liv Morgan came back. Because Liv Morgan has made difference already for the women division, as I told you with the love triangle with Rhea. That hit as a bombshell. That was one of the big stories of the summer of when was it 2024. And when she was injured, there was something like, yeah. I mean, Io Sky, for example, right? She's great and all, but really? I mean, she does some aerial moves, but yeah, then you also see it from her. And I still don't believe. I like Io Sky, and also before she joined WWE. Don't get me wrong, I've seen her already wrestle in Japan, and don't get me wrong, she can wrestle, but tell a story in the ring, I severely doubt it. And Liv Morgan, even though she's so tiny as and that's the only negative. The only negative with Liv Morgan is her size, because if you see her, you think, well, a job as a waitress as Hooters was perfect for her, right? As you take on the looks, right? She doesn't convince over like she looks like a wrestler. I talked about that once. For example, if you take Bron Breakker, if you look at his size, right? If you take Bron Breakker, for example, that screams pro wrestler. The guy, look at him. I mean, he's big. He is. He can move around, and he's perfect as the title as pro wrestler. You know, he has the physique for it. But if you see Liv Morgan, I mean, if you, for example, right, if you went shopping with your, I don't know, you took your best friend along who doesn't watch wrestling, right, and you met Liv Morgan on the street, what would your friend be thinking? Not, oh, she's a pro wrestler, definitely not. If you say, well, she's famous, well, you think maybe she's a good movie, you know, or I don't know. But that's the problem with Liv Morgan, because she's not big. I mean, you know, I'm a tall dude, right? But I think she comes not even close underneath my on my chest, so not further. That's the only negative with Liv Morgan, and that's also a major negative thing with the women's wrestling division. I mean, okay, tall women are rare, I must admit. I mean, but Selena Vega, Roxanne Perez, that's really such a little shit. Who do we have more? I mean, Stephanie Valkyrie is also not big. I mean, Liv Morgan was bigger than Stephanie Valkyrie we could see on Monday. I mean, you know, I mean, you know, I always, you know, when you know, if you ask somebody on the street what is the look of a pro wrestler, well, big build, you know, huge guy, big build, you know, good physique, you know, impressive look. Where you have something, okay, I stand back for it, but yeah. And I think that is sometimes, I think Vince said it even once, he pushed also bigger guys because they had the look of a wrestler. I mean, if you ask me, right, if Vince was still in charge, I'm not going to defend because I'm not a Vince guy, because the last few years he was shit, but he had a point. He had a point. If you see these wrestlers, I think half of them would even be on the main roster now. Even would be even, you know, hired by WWE. That's my opinion, but let's be real here. I mean, if you look at the guy, you know, Undertaker, Kane, Big Show, all big dudes. Steve Austin, also not the smallest guy. And that we sometimes forget with pro wrestling is that if you look nowadays, and I'm happy for it, in a way also that these smaller guys get a chance, but does it really scream pro wrestling? You know? I mean, isn't it more cool to see these big dudes do a drop kick or fly through the air or whatever? You know, that's more impressive. You know, and let's be real here. A little girl, let's take Roxanne Perez, right? How realistic is it? She has a fight. I mean, I can do just this. Oh, sorry. I just do this. You know, if she has her head here, I can just do this, and because I'm a tall guy, I have long arms. She won't even reach me. Right? And how can that then be realistic if she goes in a fight? That's my problem. That is the problem with the women division I have. But then I am a guy also who looks, okay, well, we have this wrestling match, but can you also tell a story? Liv Morgan, definitely. And she grew in that, because if you saw the first few matches, not so long time ago, I saw one of her first matches. Oh my God, I thought to myself. And nowadays, she's phenomenal. She can sell it. She has that it factor. And I think the women division actually needed her comeback, because the last few months had been shit. And that's my honest opinion. So, being that said, I had a whole rant about the women division, but I want you to take itself to it. You know, ask yourself, take a step back and start thinking about the women division. I mean, if you take Rhea Ripley, right? She has one thing in common, a good thing for her: her size. Her size for the women screams pro wrestler. You know, she is tall, she's good built, she has a good physique. She's screen pro wrestling. She has only one other problem that, and I think sometimes it's not even her own fault. I think it's more WWE fault. She didn't have really true believers, of true challengers that who make believe is a challenger. Of course, and then this discussion point, Charlotte. Yeah, Charlotte is not a small. She's also up there. She has her size and maybe physique, but I mean the problem is with her. She's been pushed down her throat so much, peeps. It really is. Becky, Becky maybe she has an advantage. She's from Ireland. And that's not wrestling, hate towards American women or whatever where you're from. But the Irish has something over them. They want to fight, and they don't. That's the same I have with when I see Sheamus. Good old Sheamus. I mean, that screams also pro wrestling. If you see the dude, his physique. And that's the thing, because I still believe pro wrestling. Sometimes people say, yeah, but what was the result? Yeah, but it doesn't matter what the result is. It's what you do in the match. And that also screams physique. Can you sell a match? And if I have a better physique, how easy you can sell a match, right? Let's call spade a spade. So yeah, but I'm curious what they're going to do. I'm really curious, and that's the fun part. I think Liv did so well on Monday, and you probably didn't notice. So she forget all about what the judgment did, also with the tease with Perez and Dominic. She also forget about, is that really the case? And that is the perfect way how Liv can sell it. I think that is one of her plus points. She can do so well, because she says she's going to put the Judgment Day back on the rail. She was not even interested in the tag team tie. She gave it back to Roxanne Perez, but she also had that backstage segment with Stephanie Wilcare. So she's going for the main goal and the title. But I think it's in a way what you can also interpret it by saying that, well, you have your tag team title, right? You enjoy your little tag team title. It doesn't mean crap, because the women's tag team title, it means crap. I mean, that's the problem with the women's tag division, is they throw two wrestlers together, and then as a tag team they become champions when they go, and when they lose the title they probably go from each other again. Just look through history. So being that sad, I think it's I think the tag team titles is failed. When they introduce, I'm more for the mid card titles, and tag team titles, because then you can easily build more wrestlers up. So I do hope in the long run that the Intercontinental Championship and the US title for the women will help to rebuild the women's division, to get a more stronger division, because it's so lackluster. The gap between, the mid card and the main event for women is too big, and that is because the same wrestlers got over and over again the title shots, and the rest, the upcoming talent, was just forget about and left in mid card hell, and that's the whole problem. So being that said, so I'm curious. I think, in my opinion, there comes a big twist with the Judgment Day, and that makes it exciting. And if one can pull that off, is Liv. She really can, because she can put up a story. Look, as I gave you an example, as the love triangle with Dominic and Rhea. I don't think they're going to do a love triangle. I don't think that at all. I think it's going to be bigger, because we already seen that. You should not repeat things, because then things get still. The factors of fact. So being that said, I think we're going to see something else. But what I don't even know, but I have a gut. Sometimes you say, yeah, a gut feeling. There comes a big twist. I really am convinced of that. I can be wrong. I can be wrong. Okay, it's not a news fact, but sometimes you have a gut feeling. And hey, I was also got that gut feeling with Liv Morgan coming back as survivor series. I was right? Anyway, peeps, I want to leave it for that today. We'll be back next week with another pro wrestling report here on JTA Live Tube on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends, tell about your friends, invite them over for next stream on Thursday, same time, same place. And don't forget us to follow on Facebook, on facebook.com/JJA Sports Studio. You can find us also on X, on the handle name JJA Sports Studio. On Instagram, we're also there live. There we are on JJA Sports Studio. What is there more? No, nothing else more. So that's it. So, and of course on JTA Sports Studio you find all the latest news. Also, if there comes updates of Liv Morgan or the Mystery Man or whatever for news, JTA Sports Studio is your source, peeps. Take care. Have a lovely Thursday evening. Enjoy TNA tonight. I think I'm going to get something nice to eat. I'm really into mood with that. Take care. I'll see you, and for live, you can see more live streams until next Thursday. That is, of course, every day I'm doing for JTA on Demand here on the same channel. We're playing games. We're playing at this moment Red Dead Redemption. We had some great viewers today there. It was fun on chat. So don't forget, and always, if you're watching here on chat, you're always welcome to join on chat. So don't forget about that. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Let me know what you think about Liv Morgan's return or about the Mystery Man in the comments. And don't forget to like and share this video. Take care. See you next week, peeps.